Are you sabotaging your success without even realizing it? There is a very big chance you are, because thousands of YouTube creators recently submitted their channels and businesses to be roasted by me on this channel, and after reviewing them, I kept seeing the same expensive mistakes over and over again that were wrecking their sales. So today I'm going to roast 3 creators who applied, who are prime examples of these mistakes. I'm going to break down exactly what they're doing wrong, and then I'm going to show you how to fix them so you can actually make money from the views you get. So let's move on to our first contestant. Okay, so first up, we have Sachin with this channel here, Visa Solutions, UK immigration lawyer. And he says that he has a goal to get 4 consultations per day for 20 days in a month. I like that goal. And he wants to achieve it by the 31st of December, 2025. 4 consultations a day for 20 days, 80 calls. So let's just look at his channel and his offer. So what do we got here? We've got a calendar, paid consultation. So if you want to sell something, you only really need 3 things: views, traffic to your sales page, basically clicks of links below your video, and then when people arrive on your sales page for them to book a call. That's kind of it. So that means there's only really 3 things that can go wrong. So the first thing you want to fix, right, if we want to get you more calls, is more views, right? Well, no. That's probably the last thing I care about looking at your channel right now. And I'm going to show you what I mean, and I think this is going to shock a lot of you. So I looked at your channel. Last month, you got 60,000 views, and you want 80 call bookings a month. So what I've done is I've built you this spreadsheet you can see here. You guys can download this to do it yourself too. And it's going to reveal exactly what you need to do to hit your 80 calls a month. So let me explain it to you. Down the left, we have link click-through rate. So the link below a YouTube video, how many clicks it might get, right? So 0.5 would mean 0.5% of the people who watched clicked your link. Now, I track this a lot using my software, and I know that some of my videos have an 8% click-through rate. That's very high. So 8% of the people who watched clicked the link. Then we have on the top here is sales page conversion. So this is the amount of people who land on the sales page after they've clicked your link who actually buy. The hotter the traffic, the higher this number will go, but above 5 for most people is pretty rare. I've seen 10, I've seen 30. But let's just call it that for now. So what I'm going to do is, in this little green box here, I'm going to type in 60,000. That's how many views you got last month. And what that's going to reveal is, if you manage to get 3% of the people watching your videos to click and then go to your site, that's 1,800 page viewers. And if you could get 5% of them to convert, you've made 10 more sales than you want to hit by the end of the year. Now, 5% conversion's high. So let's go down a little bit and say 3%. That's still 54, right? Now, the scary thing here is, if you get 60,000 views like you are, and you only get 0.5% link clicks and only get 0.5% conversion, only 1 person can become a client. But this isn't the most terrifying thing. So let's say your link clicks were really low, 0.5, and your visitors to your sales page conversion was really low, 0.5. For you to get 80 calls a month, you would need 3.2 million views a month, which is impossible in your niche. And this is the thing I'm so desperate to hammer home on YouTube right now. Everyone's convinced that the views are the answer when it's not. The offer, the sales page, and the link clicks are the thing that makes you the money. So it brings us to the question, well, what should you do next? Well, look, there's tons we can do on your channel to make it better. But really, we don't technically need to. What we need to look at is your sales page and how you're driving people there. So what I'm going to do is show you 3 things you need to fix, and these are common mistakes, and all 3 of them are going to help your conversion rates and link clicks go up, and they're going to help you make more money from those views you're getting. So the first one is this. On my old channel, I got 30 something million views, and I used to have a shelf below it that sold hats and t-shirts. Do you know how many I sold ever? 2. Why do you have a Visa Solutions t-shirt for women and a spread shop set up? Not only is this not anything to do with what you offer, but it's a huge distraction. Look how big that is below. We don't want any eyeballs on anything other than this link up here. So your number 1 goal is to drive a higher click-through rate. So that's the first mistake. Anything at all in your description, this is far too detailed. Get it down. We just need a strong call to action to your service. Okay, the next thing, this is one of the most common mistakes I see. I'm going to click on your link, and this is what we end up with. So have you ever been to a restaurant where they give you a menu and it's Italian, Chinese, Japanese, Greek, and you're like, oh, there's so much choice, lovely. And then you sit there and you're like, I don't know what I want. And then the waiter comes over and you sort of panic order. You're like, I'll have the spag bowl, and you don't even want that. This is what your website is. All of this stuff across the top is a distraction. Your logo, the email, why are we driving them to Instagram? All we want them to do is book a call. So get rid of everything. Now, you have a website and you might need a big website like this, but for your link below your video, you need to create a landing page, not a website. And that's just one page where all they can do is book. So if you have any links at all driving them away, they have to go. It's killing your conversions. And then the final thing I've spoken about in previous videos, but this isn't a result. It's not a problem. It's boring. Consultation via video, audio. Like, we're not selling them a video call. We're selling them a solution to the biggest problem they have. We need a headline that sets up a result and a subheadline that fills in some details. This stuff, it's kind of getting in the way. Now, the cool thing is, when you have these things fixed, and let's say you're rocking a 3% click rate and a 3% conversion rate all the time on your site, then it's like, let's get more views. Let's put the effort in. But until then, you don't have a views problem. You have a conversion problem. Which brings us on to our next contestant. So this is Lisa, and she sent me a message. I'm just going to give you the crux of it. So I've only been posting for 4 months and hope to be ready to launch a product by the end of the year. I'd like to launch a membership where I can take them on the entire journey of learning how to sew and make their own patterns, and also sprinkle in fun challenges and community support. I'm trying to figure out how to differentiate what I post on YouTube versus what would be more detailed for the membership. That is not your problem. Trying to work out what I keep on the channel, it doesn't matter. So to answer your question, YouTube creators make videos based on what gets clicks, not what is best for the viewer. And then the content's all scattered all over the place. So yeah, it's great for learning, but the whole point of a course is you lay it out in an order that saves them having to flip and go through all the crap online that's probably wrong and conflicting information. So they just have one source of input where they get a result. So don't worry about that too much. You have a far bigger problem. So let's just have a quick look at the channel. You're doing a great job posting. Well done for getting more content out. Well done for the growth. Some videos doing quite well here. But what concerns me about your question is, you say, I'd like to launch a membership, but do they want one? And this is one of the big things about business. A lot of people start with, what shall I make? Well, ask your viewers. Like, we don't want to guess. So you'd like a membership, but would they? And also, really a membership? You can keep putting loads of content out? Is that the best thing? Might not be. So the first thing I'd recommend anyone does when coming up with a product is to get on a phone call with your viewers, put out a form and say, can we talk? It sounds crazy, but the guys that I work with that generally get the best results hit the phones. And a benefit of this is they actually meet their viewers and they find out all sorts of different problems. So don't make what you want to make what people want to buy, and they'll tell you. But really, the big mistake we've got here is this. And this is going to wreck your sales. All of these courses with multiple wait lists. Like, if you are building 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 courses, I couldn't do that. I couldn't build 5 courses and successfully grow a business. And here's why. Because look, based on this graph, that curve shooting up is exponential. So every time you add a new thing to your product suite, what happens is you have to put more time in. So more marketing, more systems. How are you going to upsell, cross-sell? How are you going to build the course and make 5 good? It's not going to happen. Whereas if you have 1, you make more money because you make it good, and then you just point everyone at that. So if I was you, I would just build one very simple product to start. You're new to this. Don't make a membership. Make one product that gets a very simple result, and it could be one of these on its own, but you're not in a stage where you should be thinking, how much money could I make? You're in a stage where you're thinking, how can I become well-known in my niche, well-trusted? How can I get thousands of views per video? How can I blow up my email list so that I can then launch a product, get tons of feedback from people who use it, make the next one better, get a ton of sales from that, and then work out, okay, what's next? If we rush into building 5 things at once, it's going to be a complete nightmare. Next up, we have Julia. Me Julie. You know me love it, truly. Now, Julia says her problem is planning on making an online makeup lip art course for beginners, covering all the basic techniques, and I'm procrastinating badly on it. That's very common because it's hours upon hours of work, and I'm afraid it'll only make 1 to 2 sales and earn a few dollars. Right, let's just look at that half of the question first. Firstly, never be afraid that it will make a few dollars. If you make a few dollars, could learn $100,000 worth of lessons. Like, there's a trade-off. You can't live in fear of it not working. Another thing I don't like about what you've said is it's hours and hours of work. Why are you launching hours and hours of work as a product? Your first one should be so simple. I launched a 90-minute live workshop, spent a day or 2 preparing it. It was on a very, very specific thing, making thumbnails. I sold that on demand for 18 months afterwards, $7,000 on launch, 50-odd thousand over its lifetime, just leaving links. If I'd spent months working on it and it hadn't made sales, then I have wasted time. So YouTube is a journey of discovery, and so is business. And unless you really know your audience, you've got a big following, you understand exactly what you want, you've done the work, you can't take massive risks with your time. So just come up with something simple. Just because it's simple doesn't mean people won't value it. In fact, my original little workshop had an absolutely amazing reception because it was short and it delivered one result and people got to the end of it. So it's not about quantity, it's about the quality and the transformation. So start simple before you bite off too much. But then you said, I tried to monetize offering exclusive lip art content on Patreon. Patreon sucks. I'm very vocal with my clients about Patreon. Some of them do well from it, but you have a YouTube channel, which means you need to post content all the time. And bolt on another thing that requires you to continually post content for $5 a month. It's the same thing. Like, you double your YouTube workload. The beauty of what we do is we get into a position where we have a product that doesn't take every single second of our day, and then we spend all of our time on content, which scales our following and drives sales. But doing that on Patreon, it's such a trap. Patreon's for people who can't monetize their products, as far as I'm concerned. It's for a movie review channel. Like, they haven't got a problem they solve, so they have extra content, more, stuff for the fans behind the scenes. You don't need Patreon. So the other thing you said is you offered a lip art calendar in December, beginning of January, and you only got a couple of sales. So let's look at that. Let's do some maths again with you. Let's put you in. You launched in January. So your new videos, since you launched this product, let's call it 950 views. So let's see what you can really expect here. 950 views. So based on that, in order to get 2 sales, you would need a 5% click-through on your links, and you would need a 5% conversion rate on your sales page. There aren't many people in the world who get that. And if they are, they have an incredibly hot audience they've been nurturing for years. So I can't believe how well you did, if I'm honest, especially because if we check out your offer page, so this is where you're driving them. There's a really small buy $9.99 in the corner. This alone is not going to sell it, just showing people it. It would be like me coming up to you going, here, do you want my thing? Have a look inside. You want it? No? Why? It's only $9.99. Come on. This is the digital equivalent of that. Wait a sec. What are you doing? Why can't I read the book? Don't let them read it. Or too much of it. The last 3 or 4 books I've read the first 3 chapters and put it down and never gone back to it because I got enough value from it. I didn't feel like I needed much more. What we want is a sales page that sets up the massive value of this. It makes them really excited to buy. One of the weird things about this world is sometimes we can give far too much information in our marketing. And actually just making people super curious to want that result is going to be the best thing for them to get over the line and then use the book. So what can we learn from this? Well, firstly, got to sort out your description. Like, way too much going on here. Secondly, and I think this is the real lesson, build a bigger following first. Don't worry about the product so much. It's good to have one. And then the final thing is just creating a sales page for your book that sets up the massive value inside and has testimonials on. Okay, guys, let me know what you want me to roast next. We've been looking at sales funnels this time, thumbnails, titles, presenting, you name it. I'll flip and roast it. But before we finish, have you ever wondered if your intros are actually the real reason you're making money on YouTube? Because for a lot of you, after looking through thousands of your channels, it is. So I made this video here where I roast 3 more viewers, and I'm going to show you exactly how to structure intros to make more moolah.